Hello and welcome to the Me Perspective with me, Morg, and my co-host Al. And
Yo.
and today we're going to be talking about the Charlie Hebdo shootings and basically everything that's happening in France right now. Like going into prop detail. This is going to be purely what the episode is about. So
Yeah, like the kosher shooting, like the kosher market shooting, and the officer being shot yesterday that we forgot to cover. We didn't see it much. Like we was more interested in the actual Charles Hebdo.
but now it's all related.
It's all linked now.
Well, apparently so. So you can just like go over the basic details now. Like
Well, we've already updated it with the Charles Hebdo shooting. Hebdo shooting. But yesterday there was a shooting on an officer, and now there's been a shooting in a kosher market. So they're linked together apparently. Amadi Kolobali was the shooter on the policewoman yesterday, or he was believed to be, and he's believed to be involved now with the kosher market shooting. So there's like a tenuous link between the two events. So, and they're believed to be Al Qaeda as well.
so far.
That's all that's been covered.
Well, I mean, like so far as well. Like all the extremists, because that's what we think they are. They're all dead now, right? Like both groups.
the two brothers have been
who
killed.
originally like shot up the Charlie Hebdo building.
They was in a factory. They was found in a factory.
Took some hostages.
They took one hostage. It was. There was only one hostage.
Did the hostage die?
Yeah, the hostage did die apparently. Oh, that's what I've read at the moment. And two were arrested in the kosher market. One was shot.
And the woman.
Yeah, the woman.
She's dead now.
Hayat Uamadine. I don't care if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. She doesn't deserve my respect. Not because she's a woman, because she's an extremist. Yeah, but so there was one that got away apparently though. Like one got away from the kosher market shooting. Where they don't know where they went, like they didn't see him leave or her leave.
Yeah,
they don't have anything on the fourth shooter.
So the two brothers are dead. The woman at the market is dead. I think so. You said the other two at the market were arrested.
Yeah.
As well as one person turned himself in at the original shooting. So that's 3 dead, 3 arrested. How many? Like there's quite a few civilian casualties now. I think yesterday it said about 12, I'm guessing.
It was 12 yesterday, 10 injured yesterday. Oh, no, 2 days ago now. The Charles Hebdo.
Yeah, and
shooter.
The female police officer, so I think that was maybe 13 yesterday, but the death toll's gone up now to quite a high amount since a few hostages have been killed, so...
Yeah, we just that's all the details we can find at the moment, so...
I mean, quite a big thing now that MI5, the leader of MI5, like Britain's special intelligence, like, they investigate domestic threats, like things that actually happen in Britain. And the leader of MI5 has come out and was like, this serious people, like, extremists are planning attacks against the Western world. So whether they will see shit like this in the UK, Germany, and other, prominent Western societies.
Yeah, that's the scariest thing about these lone wolf shootings.
We don't know where they're going to come, do we? We just know
there's
that
no regulation in it unless you want to be racist, and that's not the answer. Like, it's like and I don't like how the English Defence League.
Well, basically all
of the right wingers
neo-Nazis, fascist groups across Britain. I think I can't remember some of them by name. It's like the English Defence League, Britain First. UKIP are obviously like all over this now because like they've always been like Islamification of like Britain's cause and stuff like this. But
it's like holding all of the Christians to account for the like African shootings and like rapes and pillages from the Christians in South Africa. like there's South African Christians, apart like just killing people.
It's a rise in neo-Nazism in South Africa now.
Yeah.
Well, like not really neo-Nazis, but like that's coming back now. That all like white superiority things coming in. Like there was a training camp where I watched a documentary on a young child from that camp, like from like a young white South African child went to this camp and he was basically training them how to like shoot and giving them like paramilitary training. The
Yeah.
idea that one day there's going to be a race war.
But there's even like in South Africa, there are tribes against tribes, like Christian tribes, just cleaning out like genocide of other people for their beliefs. So it's like holding the Christians, every Christian.
I think
In
most
account for
religious
that.
extremism is like
Yeah.
just generally like from all religions, Islam, Christianity.
Well, the Nazis were some form of Christian extremists.
Well, yeah, I
weren't they?
mean they're the Catholic Church in a way kind of like it's kind of like sketchy, but in a way they did side with Nazis. Like they didn't really side with them, but they didn't really oppose them either.
No. Which at least the Muslims are like opposing ISIS and Al Qaeda.
Yeah, like a
Many
majority
extremist
Muslims, like I said, who
groups.
just want to practice their religion peacefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it was just a whole group of like so obviously there was a massive protest march in Dresden last week about Islamification and mass immigration. And that was arranged, organised by a far right group in Germany, which is really concerning. Because you think like in Germany that would be a place where they should realise that far right groups are bad, because they've had look at the history with far right, like groups like it's sad that really like all these people are dying now and far right groups are taking advantage of that, like kind of just riding on the situation.
Wait, I'd like to apologise for what I said earlier. Like it wasn't the woman that was killed; she was the one that escaped
Really,
from the
so it's the
shooters.
2 men who died.
Yeah, or the 3 men, or the 2 men, and the one arrested in the kosher market. Yeah, so that's.
I mean, some of the updates now. I think about 20 minutes ago there was a live television presentation on the French president, and he was like, obviously, because it's been like a national disaster would probably be the right word, and he's like addressed the French people about, at the moment, from the source we're looking at the Guardian website and we can't speak French, and so we didn't really understand what he said. I'm guessing he's just like talking about how the national tragedy and what France now has to do.
Yeah.
But we don't really know the death toll yet. It's been, but yeah, it's just well, a friend recently showed me like a picture of one of the people who was killed, and he worked for he was I think he was the lead editor of the Charlie Hebdo magazine.
It was Stefan.
Stefan. His nickname's Charby. I don't really know what
Yeah,
pronounce that.
don't know how to pronounce it.
But
so.
yeah, anyway, that's just, and he said, I'm not afraid of retaliation. I have no children, no wife, no car, no credit. Perhaps sounds a bit pompous, but I'd rather die standing than live on my knees. I mean,
That's a great quote.
yeah, I mean, and he lived up to it. Like
Yeah.
he did what he did, and he died. And I mean, like he was one of the people who free speech. Like he was willing to die for free speech, for his right to free speech. So I think people need to respect that.
Yeah, I'd just like to speak a bit about how the far right, and conservatives of Europe, reacted to the Charlie Hebdo massacre. Like, I know with the fucking pleb of
Farage.
UK, Farage.
He's jumped on it now.
Yeah, he's jumped on it, and he's recently said, where is it now? Yeah, he said about how that this is why it needs to be regulated, like immigration, even though
But
French shooters.
yeah, when they French nationals,
They
French.
were French nationals. So.
As far as I know, I think they were. I mean, they spoke perfect French. I mean, that obviously doesn't.
No,
mean...
the two brothers were definitely French nationals.
Oh, there we go then. So they weren't even immigrants. So
it just doesn't make sense. Like,
I think you're gonna be. I think to everyone listening to this, you're gonna be bombarded now by like anti-Muslim, anti-immigration shit that apparently that could have stopped from what happened. But you know, wherever you go, like Christianity, every single religion, every single political belief, they always have small sections of the community who take it to the extreme, who go out and kill people over it. And you just gotta remember, like, that doesn't represent the majority of like religious followers. Like I said, I've said in the last two podcasts, I don't agree with religion, but you know, there's still a majority of people just want to like follow their religion and practice religion peacefully. So I mean, yeah, people really need to remember now that this small group of extremists, you know, they don't represent the majority of the Muslim community. So.
And we feel for the Muslim culture.
Yeah, because like I said, they're gonna be
country.
They're gonna be like just like you said, the right wing groups. They just jump and all this. And
well, in France, there's been 6 fire bombings of mosques.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's just gonna create more animosity, you know, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
like you're giving them what they want, or you're giving the extremists what they want by doing that. You're just feeding back into the hate.
If a young Muslim sees like his place worship being bombed,
yeah, that's gonna give some hate.
Yeah, they could just like they could like radicalise people, like, and people could
It's exactly what the war is doing in Afghanistan. And
yeah, that's the dropping bombs and
yeah, like it's just stupid how they can think that's gonna solve anything. Firebombing. If you're gonna pass out anger, you're gonna get it back. Like, there is no justice for what have happened now, because the 2 have been killed and they'll see themselves as martyrs now. But at least they are, like, the problem is
so far the problem. It's been the problem for now. Like I said, we don't with this MI5 warning. I know like the government's fear-mongered before, but I think we are going to see similar shit like this happen in Europe now. Maybe in the entire world, maybe in America, but I think Europe might see something like this again.
I think the UK will gain some like mileage off.
Well, even more extreme parties, BNP, English Defence League. I mean,
they will gain votes off this,
which is the
main tragedy in Britain, at least.
Yeah, I think Germany, maybe UK, Spain, you might see similar attacks.
Yeah, the power. Well, what have happened now is the extremist Muslims. Now, like Al Qaeda,
they've won basically.
They've won,
doing,
but they've like just give UKIP and anti-Muslim groups or anti-immigration groups more power.
Yeah.
Now, like the Muslim brethrens, people who like practice Islam peacefully, they'll suffer. They're the ones that will really suffer.
I mean, like.
And I'm trying not to make it like a fight between us and them. Like, that's what the
peace, just like cooperation. That's the only thing that's going to solve this now.
Like we said, we don't believe in any religion. But if a religion is worth killing someone over,
it's not a very good religion.
I think you should aim it at yourself. You should kill yourself. Maybe hit the restart button.
It's more fucking. In some religions, there's a sin to kill yourself. I mean, killing yourself, in my opinion, is bad, but I think just the old premise of killing for religion is just wrong. Like, and that shows that. To me, that's one of my arguments against religion. Is just when it does this to people. I know. I've like.
It does bring the extremes out of people. It is an extreme, provoking thing. I wouldn't say sometimes. Most times it brings extremes out of people, but it brings out the good in most people.
Yeah, I said like a majority of people, like, it doesn't. They just want to practice religion peacefully, and there's always shit like this. Like,
yeah, like I just hope they know now, like the extreme Muslims, like the extremists of Islam, they're affecting their own like supporters really.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's like a never-ending circle.
But so
yeah, that's all we've got to cover today.
Yeah, I mean, Europe we're gonna see a lot of stuff happening now between the far right gaining some traction,
Yeah.
maybe similar attacks. But we have.
It is lining up to
If-
Nazi Germany.
If
Like,
the far right do get similar, power because of this, it just shows that
the Muslims are being
it
portrayed
shows
as...
that they've won, like the terrorists have won because
Yeah.
people, in my opinion, the only reason people turn to far right groups is fear, because they're scared of something. Like they're scared of mass immigration.
Yeah.
Well, not really mass immigration, but that's what they'll call it. But immigration, they're scared of immigrants.
They're scared of change.
Yeah, well, it's just not, I wouldn't say maybe not fascism is the right word, but just like extreme right, like fundamentalism. It's like extreme conservatism. Like they don't want
I
things
can
to change.
see if there's any right wing people
It's 'cause
listening to
people are
this
scared now.
podcast. I can see why you're scared. I can see why you're scared of change, but grow some balls and fucking like give people respect. You're being an indecent human being by like doing this to yourself. You are unhumanizing yourself.
Yeah, it's
so
like, then they said
grow
the
some fucking balls.
only reason they do it is fear, because now, like, and I know, like, that's what the far right groups are doing. They're going, no, if you vote for us, we'll stop this from happening, and like,
Yeah.
because people are scared, but they're like,
It is lining up exactly to Nazi Germany now. Like, the Nazi Germanys were aiming it at the Jews and the communists, and now...
they're not our enemies. Like, a majority of Muslims aren't our enemies.
No, but UKIP are portraying them as that. It is getting as simple as that. Like,
Just all.
I can see it all lining up. Like, UKIP just saying, oh, them Muslims are after you, just as the Nazis said about the communists and the Jews. So, like, is belief pushing on belief, like, or belief pushing against belief, I think is gonna end up bad if UKIP do get voted into power.
Yeah, I mean, all I gotta say to people who are listening to this, don't give in to fear, because that's what for a start, that's what the Muslims want. Like,
Yeah.
not the Muslims, like the extremists. That's what they want to spread fear. So if you let yourself succumb to fear, you've let them win.
Yeah.
And that's what the right wing groups are feeding off people's fear. You need to, like, remember, like, yeah, it's just, I think, if the more scared people get, the more the worse of a situation they'll become.
Yeah.
If people just like deal with it with a clear head, like how we can stop this, like don't like attack like innocent Muslims, and because it won't.
Murders are
Yeah.
murders are all around the world, like of just any reason, but
It's
don't
not
let the
gonna solve
religious killings.
Yeah, it's not going to solve anything.
No. Like, yeah, don't give in to your natural instinct of fear. Don't, like, rely on the worst aspects of humanity. Like, I know deep down you feel fear of the Muslim culture or anything different, but you gotta grow set and just, like, push past it. You gotta deal with it with a
When
smile.
people say like multiculturalism causes this because like cultures can't mix, they can, and that's the only reason that shit like this will get solved is when we embrace multiculturalism. Like, people just embrace each other. Like,
Yeah.
you have your beliefs, I have mine. It doesn't matter, because that's what extremism is caused
Yeah,
by.
you
It's
can just
people not
go,
accepting other
yeah,
people's
your
opinions.
opinion's stupid as fuck, but I'll just smile and talk with
Yeah,
you.
we're not actually say that.
We'll
but,
still
like,
walk hand in hand.
you can believe what you say, but like, you know, violently opposing other people's beliefs. Then I think that's all we can really say now. Like,
Yeah,
hopefully,
I think this is a good point to like
yeah.
end it on, wrap
More-
it up.
Probably going to be some more details coming out tomorrow. We'll
Yeah,
cover
we'll
them
do
tomorrow.
a week
Today's been
in
quite.
the news, like wrap up.
We kind of come into this without doing a lot this episode, without doing a lot of research, so it may seem a bit rushed, but we just wanted to get, like, before we wrap it up, we just want to say that we just wanted to get out some of like our opinions on what we heard so far.
Yeah, this is a more personal.
Yeah,
like,
like I know, like kind of like
we
news
haven't just
report,
read
like,
clean off anything. We've
just give our own
given.
reaction.